Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's time to listen to Mom. With the new Joker film right around the corner, we figured the next best thing to do would be a Joker tier list. Real quick, at the bottom we messed up slightly and we added all the Jokers, but I want to cover all the Jokers that we're going to discuss. We have Cameron Monaghan, John DiMaggio, Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, Troy Baker, Jack Nicholson, Cesar Romero, Zach Galifianakis, Kevin Michael Richardson, Joaquin Phoenix, and let's just get right into it. I have my great friend Fireborn here with me, and we're going to be doing a list. Fireborn, you excited?
Excited.
I'm pumped. This is we didn't script anything. We're going to go right into it. We're going to debate it. Comment down below. This is going to upset everyone. Okay. We're not going to get it right. There's no way we're going to get it right. And that's kind of the whole point. There's a lot of great Jokers here. And I'm gonna be honest, there's some, not so much. So let's start off.
We're 100% right. Everybody else is wrong.
True. Facts. This is just how the internet works, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think even the toughest one right off the rip here, because this is actually randomized, is Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Where does he sit on this list, in your opinion? I mean, he won an Academy Award, just FYI already. It's just, I
don't trust Academy Awards. That's an argument for another time.
That's okay. All right.
just because he isn't like a true form Joker. He's like an alternate universe Joker to me. I have to go with A.
I guess that makes sense. I can see that. I almost want to put him at S just because the trauma and everything that happened, but you are right where it's not just like the true Joker, right? It's an alternate take, but to be fair with the Joker, it's all about multiple choice too with the Joker. Yeah. I feel like he embodies like a multiple choice. I wonder if like what I would prefer to see, and I know we're not going to get this in the second film, but just to see Joaquin Phoenix against a Batman.
Yeah, it's a shame we never even saw anything really get into that.
That's what I'm missing. And like, I mean, all of the Jokers here have had some sort of rivalry, at least with the Batman. So that helps, right? So, like what their relationship is. I mean, in the first Joker, he does run into young Bruce, right?
That's true. Yeah.
But it's not Batman. And in my opinion, a part of Joker's identity. So I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm going to put him on A. And just because the argument of it's a perfect portrayal, in my opinion, of the Joker, but it is missing the element of Batman.
Yeah, I think Batman and Joker have to coexist to really nail that. So,
and just in case you don't know what we're doing, I'm also going to lay down their laugh at the start, so you kind of get a feel of their Joker before we put a ranking. This is not done any specific order. We're just kind of laying it out. So next up, we have Jack Nicholson's take on the Joker.
I love Jack. I think he's awesome. He doesn't sell me as Joker. I think he's kind of like a C tier.
Really? I would actually put him at A. I put him at A.
Really?
I really I mean, I guess because I love the dynamic between Batman and that film specifically.
Yeah.
He's more on the funny side.
He is.
Would you say if I'm going with A and you're going with C, would you think it'd be a fair compromise to put him right at B?
Yeah, I think B's a fair compromise. Yeah.
Right in the middle. Okay. Well, we'll put him at B then. I guess I could see what you're talking about. Jack Nicholson's laugh as a Joker, I think it's great as well. I think that
it does. Mm-hmm.
I mean, why'd you say C? Why do you feel like it's bad or like doesn't embody it? I'm just curious to hear you out.
He's not as serious as like Heath Ledger's Joker, but he's also not as like he doesn't embody the silly Joker as much as like a Cesar Romero to me. So like I feel like he played too safe in the middle.
That's interesting. So for Caesar now, where would you put Caesar? Because okay, I'm gonna throw you a wrench. I'd put Caesar at C.
See, I put him at B because I thought he did a really good job as the silly Joker.
And and I can see that. I just feel like because it's like the first one with like Adam West and everything, it was just like the first initial take of the Joker. And I would say Jack Nicholson is better than Caesar, even though Caesar came first. But I will compromise with you and put him right next to Jack.
Okay.
If that's a fair compromise.
That's fair. Yeah. That's
because
easy.
Like they're right in the middle. Like they're both missing a little something, right?
Yeah, they definitely are.
Okay. Jared Leto.
You don't have anything lower, so we're just gonna put him all the way at the bottom.
Okay, this is one we both agree on. I agree with D here. I think it's really interesting. Just Jared Leto's. I don't think he embodies a laugh correctly. I think
don't think he embodies any of it.
Yeah, and I won't blame him for the script writing though. I think some of the script writing is also a little bit to blame, but at the same time, I don't like and like I don't think we can fault him on the look because it's all obviously somebody else's job to nail down the look of the Joker, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. He kind of feels more like a thug, like another henchman, right? Like I could imagine a henchman being like this.
I can imagine someone who was cosplaying the Joker be like that. I could imagine Mid-Journey. If you wrote Joker in Mid-Journey, that's what you would get.
And I don't know, like Jared Leto really tried hard. I heard the stories of where he would send people like weird things in the mail and was acting up on set and everything, but it almost felt like it was trying too hard in my opinion. Like it just wasn't really authentic. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I mean, Jared Leto has been an amazing actor through lots and lots of movies. And, out of everybody that is on this list, if you would have told me anybody on this list was going to be the Joker, he'd have probably been the first one I've been like, you know what? Live action nailed it. And so far from the truth. I just can't stand it.
It's tricky because we'll talk about the history of like Heath Ledger and his role getting into the Joker too, which I think is interesting. So the next one on this list, I know a little bit less about that. I had to kind of hear his voice again. Is Kevin Michael Richardson? Do you know this Joker?
That's going to be the animated one, isn't it?
Yes, the animated one.
The one with the long green hair.
Yep.
Yeah. He's my least favorite of the animated ones, but I think he did a good job.
I think so too. There's one that's missing on this list that I have to add in, and we're going to take a quick little break and add him. I just realized that I forgot to put him on here, so that's my fault. But I would put him at like, I mean, he's good. I don't really like, I just feel like he didn't get enough time to like, I mean, he was doing it from 2004 to 2008. I just think it's a strong take, not like a bad take, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Where would you put him at?
See, I'd have to put him still probably around a C for me, just because at no point did he feel iconic enough for me to like warrant spending time. Like I would never ask for him as the Joker.
That's fair.
I would accept him, but I would never ask for him.
I could see that because then we would have to say, is he on par with Caesar and Jack? And I don't think so. No, when we say Joker, we think of the list above, right?
Right.
That's fair.
Yep.
Next up we have is Mark Hamill's Joker. This was, in my opinion, the most famous Joker. The most iconic. I feel like every single person. I don't know. I'm just gonna say S and be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue. I would put everybody else down one tier before I would move him down one.
Yeah.
I would make a whole new tier just specifically for Mark Hamill. If you say the Joker, I hear his voice first. I see that Joker. He embodies both the voice and the swagger of that whole thing, on top of the fact that it's the iconic look that if you said the Joker, that is the first thing I see.
I agree. I don't disagree at all. I just think that Mark Hamill just absolutely nails it. I feel like everyone is trying to be Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, like doing a live version compared to animated is, one could argue, is unfair, but at the same time,
very unfair.
But at the same time, it's just that iconic,
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with S. So Heath Ledger's Joker.
No.
This is okay. Let me add a little bit here. Just I'm sorry for interrupting. Is that nobody thought that he could pull this off because he was the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You. There's no way he could pull off the Joker.
Mm-mm.
But he did.
Absolutely had no chance. Yeah, absolutely killed it. Did great.
I would say S.
See, I would still put him at A because I just don't think anybody can touch Mark Hamill. But I also have to state that he is the Killing Joke Joker. He is the furthest from the traditional, like, cartoon Mark Hamill one that you can get with still staying as the Joker.
Yeah.
And so if we had to put him in S, he's the only other one that I think can warrant that tier.
It's just because and this is my argument, and I know you could disagree with it. It's totally okay. Everyone could disagree with this. Everyone could comment down below. Is that at least he had an opposition of a Batman. He the lines of like, you complete me. He took his own take. I think he pushed the element of what Joker could be on the more cynical and cunning side, and it made everyone afterwards follow suit. In my opinion,
I can see that.
It's like they're two different takes on the Joker, Mark and Heath's, and I feel like everyone maybe underneath would follow their version as like perfection. I'm not saying Joaquin copied him, because he's definitely got his own take, and there's like a whole different level of turmoil there. But at the same time, like, he knew he had to follow up to Heath Ledger, and he did a great job. That's why I'm like, it's an A performance.
Yeah.
Would it be okay to put him on S, or would we compromise and put him like above Joaquin at A?
I think if Mark Hamill didn't exist, I think Heath Ledger would be S. So I would be okay with him being on S.
I would still put Mark above.
I would too.
Yeah. So then we got the order. Okay. This is Troy Baker's. And just so you understand, Troy Baker has done so many notable works in voice acting, like 416 performances. Like, he's like BioShock. He's our voice. Yep. He's our voice in everything. So
right.
I almost feel like he, in my opinion, is a fill-in. I put him all the way down to C. I know that's harsh, and I think he's an amazing actor, but I just feel like it's an acceptable version, just like how you said an acceptable animated version.
Yeah.
But I can't put him above Jack or Caesar. I just can't do it.
I could only put him either on the lower tier of C or of B, or the higher tier of C.
And I have somebody I want to put on the lower tier of B.
Okay.
And that's animated. And to be fair, like, I just can't put him above. Would you say
it has to be C?
Yeah. Would you say it's above?
I would say, yeah, he's ahead. I think he's the highest tier of C right now.
Yeah. I mean, these are really close. It's because I don't think of them first. I think of everyone else first, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I know you wanted to put this one as a meme, and I can't pronounce his last name. It's Zach from the Lego movie. I've never seen the... Yeah, I actually was crazy enough. I haven't seen the Lego movie.
I'm your new co-pilot, and I always come to work with a smile.
I actually saw it for the first time the other day, and he actually did a pretty good job. Now, it's a really hard sell for him to be the Joker for anything else other than Lego, but for Lego, he did a good job.
Where would you put him?
He's still C.
Okay. Would you say bottom?
I think he's in between.
In between? Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Now, okay, this one's interesting. This is why I said this one is my argument for the bottom of B, below Caesar. Just because Heath Ledger kind of set the stage for John DiMaggio, in my opinion. John DiMaggio is also Bender, does great voiceover work as well. I think that his performance is iconic, and his laugh is just so good. And I don't think he's got enough time on screen compared to the other Jokers, comparatively. But I think what he does well, I just feel like it's definitely not Caesar, it's not Jack, but I still think of him. But right. I think that obviously it's inspired by Heath, and this is where I would put him.
I think that's great. Yep.
Now this one's tricky because I have yet to see the show, but I've heard a lot of good things, and this is regarding Cameron.
Gotham's.
Yeah, Gotham from 2014 to 2019.
Now that's a headline.
Portray the Joker, which is like, it's like he evolved into the Joker. So this is like his final evolution, his final stage, if you will. Like, he's got so many different images and pictures of him growing into like the final form of the Joker to get there, which I think was the point of the TV series. And so I kind of did my research on that at least. How do you feel about him?
So I would have to put him probably closer to the C section. And that's only because he's not technically the Joker, but he is, because they were running into the issue where he was coming out around the same time as the Joker movie is. like the one with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And so contractually, he could not be called the Joker because they didn't want to interfere with the idea of having two separate universe Jokers existing at the same point.
Mm.
And it's the same thing for why right now in the animated series, Cobblepot, the penguin, is a girl. Because we have Colin Farrell coming out right now with the Penguin series on HBO, which he portrays the male penguin. And so they had to release the female penguin for the animated one so that they didn't contest each other inside of production.
I feel like that's unfair to him. That's unfair to Cameron.
It's unfair to a lot of people.
That really, it doesn't feel like they get a shot, which means I would put him at the bottom as C. Like, he's definitely better than Jared, right? He's definitely better than Jared Leto.
Yeah.
But
100%.
I mean, it's just unfair. You know, I don't really know what to say. I'm sure there's somebody who will defend it and say I'm sure it's still a great performance. It's not one that I hear referenced a whole lot. And like, I always see him at the bottom of the 10 out of the big list of individuals. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this is where we sit. I feel like it's interesting that Joaquin Phoenix just kind of sits in his own because he's just like so different compared to the other. He suffers from the most trauma out of all the Jokers, but without a Batman. And the other ones have Batmans. And I don't know, I feel pretty good about the list. Like, I don't feel bad about this. Like, I look at this and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty solid. Well, everyone, be sure to comment down below. Give us your thoughts on how you feel about this list. I know this is going to... Trust me, there's no way we could ever get this list right. This is just like, we didn't plan it ahead of time. We were just kind of debating and feeling it out. I'm sure everybody would argue, disagree, or get mad, and that's the whole point. Tier lists aren't perfect. Well, what are your final thoughts, Fire?
We're right and you're wrong. Sorry.
There you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to listen to Mom. Leave a comment, subscribe. We're still a new channel, and we'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, everybody.